Alright everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today's video is going to be a short one on the LMT Specwar. This is a 12.5-inch barrel SPR. Right off the bat, I'm going to say this gun is incredibly accurate. I push minute of angle with 69 and 62 grain ammunition, and a little bit over a minute, about a minute and a half with 55 grain ammunition. So the gun performs extremely well. That's at 100 yards with this red dot and iron sight setup. So with a magnified optic, I'm sure you could even hit tighter groups. It's got a mid-length gas system with a chrome lined barrel. Very, very gentle on the recoil. A lot of people have complained that these are particularly gassy. That's mitigated if you use a flow-through suppressor. So this is a Knight's Armament QDC PRT CRS. I think that's the big old name for it, but it's their larger flow-through can, and on it is a thermal shroud that they make. It doesn't add any weight, but it really eats the heat. I can mag dump 2 or 3 magazines through this gun and grab the suppressor and not melt my hand. It's remarkable. I found it out because I had, after a while of shooting one day, I actually grabbed the front of the gun to put the thing down, or it fell over and I grabbed it to catch it, and I only felt like moderate heat. It wasn't unbearable like how you would burn your hand if you grabbed a hot suppressor. This thing really does its job. It's not hype, it actually works. So it saved my hand. I have a Noxon. This is like the cheaper mod light, mounted to an American Defense Manufacturing QD throw lever flashlight mount. These are great because it really does put the flashlight right where your thumb needs to be. It gives you enough space here to mount iron sights or anything like that you want, and it's QD, so I can take it off and actually use it to peer around and then put it back on my gun. So I'm not having to flag everything if I need to see stuff. Fantastic design. I really like it, especially for my setups where I've used iron sights. Great. It's just a Magpul sling loop here with a, I think this is a submachine gun sling from Vickers or Blue Force Gear. Aimpoint T2, the old standby. These are great, with Unity fast mount, and as I'll show in a cutaway here,
Merry Christmas, Lehman, to you and your family. Sincerely, Mr. Mediker.
I actually take the rear iron sight out of the fast mount because I find that the gap here is adequate enough to peer through it with actual iron sights. It's very thoughtful of them to put these on, but I think they could actually open the gap up more and just make it accessible for normal iron sights, whether backup iron sights or whatever. A lot of people don't even put iron sights on their gun. I'm kind of in the opposite camp. I want, like, if I run out of batteries, because I live out in the middle of nowhere, I want to be able to rely on my weapon, so I got iron sights. It's just a personal preference, it's whatever. But I like the red dot because I shoot with night vision, so that performs very well. T2s are kind of known for night vision performance. I have a soft mod stock and tan, a gunfighter grip. I think this is from BCM. No, yeah, it's BCM, and it's just a kind of like a A1 grip, but a little bit cocked forward. So it's, instead of being angled, it's a little bit more neutral. They're okay. It does its job. It's nice. I like it because I have kind of like extra large hands, so you can see my hand actually wraps all the way around. So when I'm squeezing and doing rapid fire, I'm just doing this instead of having to touch it with my index finger. I had a mixture of tan and black Magpul rail covers, and I didn't have enough of either color to put the whole thing on, so I made a checker pattern, which I found very pleasing. as a handguard, so the whole thing's covered, so if the rail gets hot, I'm not like accidentally burning something if I fiddle around. And it's got this nice kind of cool checkered thing. Very, very fun. The Magpul rail covers are excellent. They feel like skateboard tape. Very, very good. So the black and tan thing wasn't on purpose. This tan shroud was what was for sale when I had gotten it. The T2 mount, the Unity fast mount, was the cheapest one on Amazon from Unity. It was just the mount in tan. The black one was more expensive. It just ended up being like that. I had a SOP mod stock that was tan, so I put it on there, and I had a tan grip. These are just things that were on there. So black and tan, it wasn't intentional. I'm not even particularly a fan of it, but it does look nice. So I'll probably get a ladder thing for these rails because these do heat up like every other Picatinny rail. So going back to its performance, like I said, minute of angle gun with good ammunition with larger grain weight bullets. It performs better with this short barrel. 77 grain OTM performs just about as good as the 69 and 62 grain. It's a negligible difference between those. It's just, I know that the 77 grain is going to hit harder. Typically they're loaded so that they move faster. So that's kind of, this is zeroed out for 62 grain, and it just performed better with the other ammunitions. This suppressor truly is a QD suppressor. I've shot this a bunch. It's all carboned out. That should be bright silver there, but it's dark. It just comes right off every time. It's a true QD mount, and it's fantastic. So that's the little gun with the suppressor off, and then that's it with it on. So overall, 10 out of 10 from LMT. Having the ambidextrous controls makes it really good for doing reloads, doing weird position reloads if you're laying on the ground sideways, or if you're laying down, or if you have to switch hands or whatever. It makes it very nice to be able to just do the same manual of arms on both sides, because you're familiar with where everything should be. To do a normal reload with a mag in, I don't even have to use my thumb on the left hand side. I can just poke, poke like that with my index finger, mag in, index finger up, and it's good. So it does make it quicker. I forgot to mention, everything on here is QD except for the iron sights. So the QD lever on the T2 mount, the Unity fast mount, makes it so that if I have to do any kind of maintenance, and if I do feel like I need to re-zero the gun, this comes off, iron sights get re-zeroed to the barrel, that goes back on, re-zero this. So it makes it nicer. And the bolt carrier that's in here is the LMT standard bolt carrier. It's a good mil-spec BCG. I've had no issues with it. I have another gun with the enhanced carrier. It's fantastic because it's chrome, so runs really well. This is just fine for this. I use a mixture of red grease and motor oil, and it kind of put it on like honey, and I've lubed this up one time in the last 4 months, and it's still lubricated. It's fantastic lube, so highly recommended. The School of the American Rifleman made a demonstration on how he makes that lubricant, and it does absolutely work. Overall, fantastic rifle. You should definitely pursue one if you're looking for an SBR. Specwar all the way. Thank you for watching. God bless.